Welcome to the ITSM Practice podcast.
Ciao and welcome to the ITSM Practice. I am Luigi Ferri. Let's begin with a fundamental truth. You cannot protect what you do not measure. Cybersecurity today is about demonstrating their effectiveness continuously, objectively, and in business terms. And yet, many organizations still operate with vague KPIs, reactive dashboards, and compliance-focused checklists. The result? Security becomes a black box, difficult to defend, harder to improve, and nearly impossible to communicate. In this episode, we explore how to build a cybersecurity measurement framework that turns security into a business asset. Why security measurement matters more than ever? Cybersecurity teams face rising pressure from boards, regulators, and partners. They are being asked questions like, are we spending our budget effectively? Where is our greatest cyber risk today? Are we improving year over year? Answering these questions requires evidence, not opinion. According to the document I reviewed, measurement helps validate priorities, improve board-level reporting, track risk reduction, support strategic decisions. This shift from controlling activity to measuring effectiveness defines the next generation of cybersecurity programs. Align measurement with the standards and value. Measurement is part of governance. Frameworks like ISO 27001, NIST CSF, and COVID all emphasize outcome-based metrics. From Annex A5.3 in ISO 27001, which focuses on segregation of duties, to A7.2, which deals with awareness and competence, the expectation is clear. Security controls must be monitored, evaluated, and if necessary, improved. But here is what the report points out. Too many organizations build metrics that serve auditors, but not executives. The goal is not just to be compliant, it's to be credible, especially when communicating with finance, operations, and the board. What should you measure? The document suggests a phased approach. First, identify the assets that matter most. This is your crown jewels analysis, and it includes domain controllers, power user accounts, sensitive databases, administrative consoles, external facing APIs. These aren't just technical systems, they are risk amplifiers. Once identified, the focus shifts to measuring how well they are protected. Second, define meaningful indicators. Here, we distinguish between key performance indicators. Are we performing the right actions? Key risk indicators. How close are we to a critical failure? Examples from the report include patching delays, open administrative sessions, unauthorized access attempts, untrained users in critical departments, third-party access misconfigurations. The best indicators are not static, they adapt as threats evolve. Create a living matrix framework. One insight stood out in the material. Security metrics are not reports, they are levers. In practice, this means metrics should be dynamic, updated in real time where possible. They must be linked to objectives, risk reduction, availability, confidentiality. They should include thresholds and trends, not just snapshots. And they must drive action, alerting when tolerance are exceeded. It is not enough to say, we had 12 incidents. You need to know were they avoidable, were the same controls involved, what has improved since the last reporting cycle. A living framework allows your program to grow with your environment, not fall behind it. Don't overlook third-party risk management. One of the strongest sections in the document covers vendor risk. It's no longer enough to protect only what you control directly. Cloud providers, IT outsourcers, API partners, they all become a part of your risk surface. And most organizations lack visibility into their hygiene. That's where security ratings enter. Like a credit score, these provide a third-party view of a vendor's exposure and maturity. The report recommends evaluating vendors before onboarding, tracking their score monthly or quarterly, aligning their access to their rating. More access should demand more security maturity. This turns vendor trust into something measurable and defensible. Avoid the matrix trap, quality over quantity. Another trap highlighted in the report, measuring too much with too little relevance. Teams end up buried in dashboards that no one reads. Or worse, teams game the metrics, focusing on numbers rather than security. A better approach? Start with a business objective. Choose 3 to 5 indicators directly aligned to that goal. Ensure metrics are actionable, owned, and reviewed regularly. An example. If the objective is to improve incident response, don't just track incident count. Track mean time to detect, mean time to respond, and whether post-incident actions are implemented. That's where real improvement happens. Now, let me leave you with this. In a recent exchange with a senior security manager, she told me, "We have stopped chasing perfection, now we chase evidence." That struck me, because when your metrics are clear, your decisions get sharper, and your confidence inside the team or across the business grows. Measurement doesn't make you secure, but it shows you where you are strong, where you are blind, and where to act next. That's how security becomes strategic. That's how you shift from compliance to competitive advantage. If you do just 3 things this week, identify your top 5 critical assets, crown jewels that drive value. Define 3 KPIs and 2 KRIs based on current controls and business goals. Review one vendor's security rating and ask, would you trust them with your crown jewels? This was the ITSM Practice. I'm Luigi Ferri. And remember, measure to learn, measure to lead, measure to earn trust. Arrivederci.